Okay, but anyway, hi everyone. I am Team Ruler 15, aka Mr. C, and today we are going. Oh, thank you, Excalizan. Um, Today we are going to talk about the future perfect. Last time we talked about the past perfect, so both the indicative and subjunctive forms. And now we're going to talk about the future perfect indicative, because English doesn't have a future subjunctive, but I'll get to that point later. But anyway, mir geht es sehr gut, Emma. Danke. It's going very well for me, Emma. I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, so remember, our lesson is about the future perfect. The future perfect. Ooh. What is this mystical future perfect? Well, to be honest, it's quite irrelevant because we hardly use it in spoken English. Oh, I'm from the States. I'm from Texas. But anyway, yep, I'm from Texas in the U.S. I don't speak Texas German though. Sad face. I don't live in an area where it's spoken. But it would be cool if I did. But anyway, so what exact? Oh, let me look at my outline. Sorry, actually have an outline this time. Yay! Okay, so before we start on explaining the future perfect, first of all, we should talk about what tense is. What on earth is tense? Tense is a grammatical category that expresses time in some manner. You know, time as in the past, the present, or the future. So, for example, we have the present tense. I like pizza. This would be the present simple tense. Or he hated the Cyberpunk 2077 game. That would be the past simple tense. So the first refers to the present, and the second refers to the past. So these forms are what we call tenses. This is tense. Yeah, exactly. Like once the past, the present, and the future all met in a bar and got into a fight, it was tense. Now, you know what? I'm just going to see myself out. I'm sorry for that. But anyway, that's what tense is. And one thing that's important to note is that tense does not necessarily correspond to time. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically, tense doesn't always equal time. So, for example, in English, we have a past subjunctive or a past simple subjunctive. Such as were for all persons, I were, you were, he, she, it were, we were, you were, they were. So, for example, dance for me as if it were the last time. That would be an example. Or as you So dance for me as if it were the last time. That were, it's the past simple subjunctive. but it points to the present, an imaginary situation in the present. And for those of you who speak Spanish, you can see a parallel here. Bailame como si fuera la última vez, or fuese la última vez, which you guys, some of you might remember from a song by Ozuna called Taki Taki. So yeah, I decided to use that example because why not? Anyway, so you can see that. Oh, is that how you'd say in Portuguese? Okay, I see. But anyway, another example would be that, an example of tense not necessarily correlating to time is the historical present, right? The historical present, where a story that takes place in the past is told in the present tense. So, for example, in the morning I go to the store, and then I find that the store doesn't have any more apples. I am very sad and decide to go to a different store to find more apples. But later I find that all the stores don't have apples. And so I just go home and cry myself to sleep. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's another example where the event takes place in the past. The whole story actually takes place in the past, but we use the present tense to tell the story, which is fine. So you see now that tense does not always equal time. Damn it, no apples. Go home. Yep, go home. Just go home. Everything that walks. Yeah, you should be sorry, Emma. How dare you? No, I'm kidding. Who is from Germany? Me. No, I'm kidding. I'm not from Germany. I would love to be able to speak the language though. It is so cool. I'm sorry. Baby, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, now let's talk about the future simple tense. We should talk about the future simple tense before we talk about the future perfect tense. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't help but reference singers like that from time to time. I mean, I don't see why you can't, Samuel. I mean, you don't need my permission. I mean, no. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, you love pizza and me. Oh, thank you. Can I go to the water closet, teacher? I don't care. Do your business elsewhere. Oh, that actually rhymed. Okay. I see how I am. I am Chimanem. But anyway. So the future simple tense. Let's talk about the future simple tense first. What is the future simple tense? Let me type in the chat. Your accent is getting me every time. What's wrong with the slow mode? Is something wrong with it? It's 10 seconds. Oh, you want me to increase it? I see. I know, I left like Bart Simpson. But anyway, or like somebody who smoked way too many cigarettes, that too. But anyway, the future simple tense is... Hold up, sorry, I'm looking at my outline. Okay, so the future simple tense is a tense too many. I have too many windows open. Hold on, let me close some of these out. What was that? My attempt at a terrible laugh. But the future simple tense is a tense that refers to an event that takes place in the future. So, for example, first I need to tell you guys how to form the future simple, right? So, how do you form the future simple? I'm not an ADHD teacher. I'm an ADD teacher. The H isn't even there. No, I'm kidding. But how do you form the future simple tense? Does anyone remember? I will go to eat pizza. Yeah. Although honestly, I would just say I'm going to eat pizza, but I mean, that works too. But yeah, I get what you mean. That's beside the point anyway. But yeah. Yeah, you basically just, you use will and then the base form of the verb. So to form the future simple. No, that's a different form of future. That's one of the ways we express the future in English. We use be, a form of the verb be, and then going to. So I am going to, you are going to, and so on and so forth. I'm going to sue all the shops as they have no apples. Nope, they don't have any, so sue them. Okay, so to form the future simple, you use will plus the base form of the verb. The base form. So the base form of the verb is just the form of the verb that comes after the word to. You know, like how in the infinitive you have to and then the verb the base form of the verb. So to eat in the future will be simple tense will be just will eat. Yeah, I will play football. I'd like to eat pizza. No, that's I would like to eat pizza. You'd have to say I'll like to eat pizza, but that would be weird. I will watch YouTube. May and might are different. I will head out to the bathroom. I will go watch adult content. Not me, though. But anyway. I know, like, please, there are children here. How dare you? I will play Fortnite. Ew. But anyway, I'll eat pizza. It would indeed. But yeah, you could also you can contract will, as in it'll be like apostrophe LL. So I'll play games. That's also another way of expressing the future simple. You don't have to keep the will separate. I'll play games. You'll play games. He'll play games, and so on and so forth. So you can actually contract the will. That tense is the future simple. Okay. But anyway. What on earth? Sorry, that picture you just posted, some of it was cut off. Let's see. Oh, right. And so I already have two examples here for the future simple. So my example, you guys already provide examples, but I'll provide my own. I will tell my girlfriend later this afternoon that her breath stinks. She needs to start using mouthwash. And another example that I have here is real story. Another example I have here is she will change her clothes when she gets home. Apparently, people didn't like her singing performance, so they threw tomatoes at her. But anyway, I will play with my friend because I'm boring. Boring or bored? Because I'm just making sure, because those are two very different words. It's like... Oh. Apparently people didn't like her singing performance, so they threw tomatoes at her. Same. What's the difference between though and though? Well, the first is just a shortened form of though. I really hope that was just an example. Yeah, don't worry. They're not. It's okay. It was an example. Don't worry. This isn't real. Okay, so oh, whoops. Hold on. Someone DM'd me. I'm gonna have to answer that later because I'm teaching the class. Anyway, now let's talk about the perfect aspect. The perfect aspect. What is the perfect aspect? Well, the perfect aspect is perfect. The end. No, but the perfect aspect is, oh my god, is a verbal aspect that shows that one event has consequences for or is related to. Oh, I'm sorry. No, let me fix that. Actually, let me just change this. I don't like how I phrase this. Okay. So the perfect aspect is a verbal aspect that shows that one event is somehow related to another point in time. Like how one, like, here, let me show you. So that's what the perfect aspect is. So what do I mean by perfect aspect? Well, let's look at the two forms we have. Well, there are three, but I'm going to talk about the first two. So do you guys remember the present perfect and past perfect? So remember, the present perfect is has or have plus, if you recall, the past participle of a verb. So verb 3, the verb 3 form. That's the present perfect. And then had plus past participle would be the past perfect. Right? And yeah, you guys have already guessed them. Okay, so an example of the present perfect would be I haven't done my homework yet, Father. This event started in the past and is related to the present. So this is the present. I should probably highlight, label this present perfect. That's the present perfect. So the past perfect, let me give you an example of that. No, the passive form is just what you just use the form of the verb be. So had been is like had been plus the adjective or whatever, an adjective or whatever. That would be the passive form. Has been would be or have been would be the same thing. Indirect speech is not really related to this lesson, unless you mean referring to indirect speech, me teaching indirect speech in a different language lesson. Then that would be fine. Well, actually, I'm not sure because I don't even know what indirect speech is. Oh, you need to go? Okay, bye. Okay, so for the past perfect, let's see. I have this example. He had already hidden the raunchy magazines by the time his mother came into the room. Past perfect. This event started in the past and led up to another point in time. That point of time in time being his mother came into the room. So that's another example. Although I hope no one has any raunchy magazines in their bedrooms, but that's not my business. Anyway, yeah, basically, you're right. That's basically what it is. That's what raunchy is. But anyway, like just very crude. It's more like crude, if you could think about it that way. And you have to go right now? Okay, bye. But yeah, so you can see now that the past perfect and present perfect are used to show events, to show like how two different points in time are related. Or that two different points in time are related, really. Okay. So now we talked about the perfect aspect. It's time for us to discuss the future perfect. But before we do that, if you have a question, I'd rather you like ping me, because like if you don't, then I might miss your question because a lot of people are typing at once. Oh, regarding the word just, it does not matter. It really does not matter. The word just has no bearing on what aspect you should use. So choose whatever fits the situation. Yeah, the choice of aspect or tense for that matter isn't really dependent on adverbs. It really isn't. Now, there are some tenses that are often used with certain adverbs or phrases, but that's really more of a coincidence. It's not really something. Like, it's not that certain adverbs must always go with certain tenses. No, don't think that way. Well, the difference between I have finished and I finish is that the former implies that it has some sort of relevance to the present, or that it's somehow connected to the present, whereas the latter does not imply such a thing, like that took place entirely within the past and has no connection to the present. But that's a different topic. Anyway, which I can cover in a different lesson, but right now we're going to do the future perfect. So what is the future perfect? The future perfect is a perfect tense that shows that an action in the future will have some relation to the present. At least that's how I define it. So what is the future perfect? A perfect tense that shows that an action in the future will have some relation to the present. And you'll see what I mean. I could draw a diagram or a timeline. That could work. In fact, I was planning on doing that, but for some reason I forgot to, so oops. Yeah, you can ask me anything. Like, just direct message me. And if you all have any questions you want to ask, like in the voice chat, we're going to save that for later because I want to get through the lesson first before taking any questions. My mom heard you and she was wondering how old you are. 26. I'll be 27 in almost exactly a month. So, yeah, I am almost 27. Well, I mean, my username has AME in it, which means American English. So, that would mean that though not everyone's gonna know what AME means, but yeah, I am from the United States. I live in Texas, actually. Yeah, it's a month and a day. Yeah, like my birthday's on October 2nd, so I'm gonna turn 27 then. I'll turn 27 by then. I will have turned 27 by then. Whatever. Anyway, if I'm going to the store, you will have to buy me an ice cream. Does that fit? I mean, it's grammatically correct, but it's not the future perfect, if that's what you were trying to show. Okay, let me put this mouse here. Okay. I'm a male. If you're wondering what my gender is, if it isn't already obvious, I'm a male, but yeah, so we should probably stick to more relevant questions. Anyway, no Texas accent at all. Yeah, like I don't have a Texas accent. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't really have one, or if I do, it's very, very slight. Like it's almost non-detectable. Undetectable, whatever. Yeah, so I don't really have one compared to some of the people that live here that have very pronounced ones. So I could talk like this if I wanted to, but then that would sound stupid. So I don't. Anyway, so how do we form the future perfect? I know, I'll provide diagrams later. I'm sure that my definition for it is confusing, so I'll provide diagrams later. So how do you form the future perfect? Well, you use will plus have plus the past participle of a verb. Verb 3. Yeah, exactly. See, yeah, you two got it. Waldo and TSH. Yeah, see? Will plus have plus past participle. I will have eaten a pizza with Steamroller 15. Well, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, but yeah, that's correct. Can you try speaking the British accent? Well, I just did, so anyway. So now let's talk about examples of the future perfect. Waldo has already provided an excellent one, and I shall provide an excellent one too. The parade will have ended by the time Chester gets out of bed. That's one example. I will have learned about the future perfect by the time this class is over. You are flawless. Let's go. Let us be going. Let us go. Let's go. Let us give that a poggers. No, you will have it. You will have. That's future simple. If you want to use that, if you want to turn that into the past perfect, it would have to be you will have had. By the time I get to the store, you will have had to buy me an ice cream. Although that sounds weird, though. Like, it's just no. That wouldn't be the proper context for it. But if you wanted to make it grammatical, that's how you would do it. Boop. Boop and poggers. Let's go, says the rock. I will have eaten the stone. Ooh, ouch. I hope you're okay. Can we say the parade will end by the time Chester gets out of bed? No, you have to say the parade will have ended by the time Chester gets out of bed. But if you want to use the future simple, you could say the parade will end when Chester gets out of bed. If in that case, that would be fine. Here, let me type it for you. The parade will end when Chester gets out of bed. And I can't spell Chester, apparently. There we go. So we use the future perfect when we want to... You could think of it like looking into the future. So you have a starting point, the present, and then you project this event into the future. Like here, let me draw a diagram. It might make more sense if I do it that way. And I cannot pronounce that name. It's apparently the name of an Icelandic volcano, but I don't know how to pronounce that. Or is it a mountain? Well, I can't remember. But anyway, I cannot pronounce that. So let's see. Let me what am I doing? Let me use Microsoft Paint, the most basic of painting, the most basic of drawing programs. The pandemic will be over when people get vaccinated. Yes. Although that would be the future simple. Although you probably intended to use the future simple there. So in that case, that works, yes. I will pass my English exam next week. That's correct. That's the future simple, but it's correct. Let's see. Let me draw a timeline for you all. Oh, it has been a while since I last used paint, so forgive me for taking a while with this. Hold on. Okay, so let me mark these points in time and do the same here. Darn it, come on, there we go. Perfection. And let me draw a curved line here. No, stop it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna turn that red. And then there. Okay. And let me add some text. No, stop it. Okay. Why is my computer so slow? Oh my god. Okay. Let me change that back to black. No! Oh my god. Okay, let me make the font really big. Okay, so there's the now. Come I need a mouse mat. I really do. Now and present. No! Oh my god. Darn it. Hold on. I thought I bold-faced this. Okay. There. That's better. Okay. And now all I need to do is add a box. And then fill that. No. Oh, wait, no, that's correct. Put this here. Okay. Perfect. So, and let me add an example of this sentence as well, of a sentence that would be best illustrated with this diagram. Wait, why did I put? Oh my god. Okay. I did not mean to do that. Put this here, but no. And then the rest of this can be black, like me. Let's see. Okay. And let me clean this up because that was an accident. Okay, and then shorten that to also, nope, it was 24, nope, 28, oh, 36, okay. Okay, there, that's done. Now all I just need to do is save it, and then I will post it on Discord. Okay, I know some people ask questions just now. Hold on, let me get to those before I... Let's see. Doesn't that sentence imply that the ending of the parade depends on Chester's activity? Not necessarily. Sometimes one can have that implication, but here, no. I'm not sharing my screen. I'm just posting it here. Okay, let me upload a file. And thank you, mods, for being awesome and moderating my lesson. Okay. So this is one example of the future perfect. The future perfect isn't really used with conditionals. The typical conditionals anyway. Like it's really like would have blank and like the conditional perfect or the past perfect or past simple subjunctive stuff like that. Amazing. It's a beautiful example. Oh, thank you. Not that the future perfect can't be used. If you have a clause with if, like, I mean, you can't say if I will have done that. No, you can't do that, but you can put in the clause afterwards. Like, I guess one example would be, well, no, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm not sure if I can think of one because the future perfect isn't really used in conditionals. Um, hmm. I guess you could say if we leave now, then oh no, I'm sorry, I just can't think of an example. Uh, so I can say I will have increased my English skills until my IELTS test. No, until doesn't quite work with the word until doesn't really quite work with the future perfect. It really should be you could say I'll be increasing my English skills until my test, but I will have increased doesn't quite work with until. And I'll talk about the ing forms later, but anyway, why don't we say I will finish my homeworks? Because homeworks isn't countable. You have to say I will finish my homework. Now, if you want to make homework countable, you'd have to say I will finish my homework assignments, or quite simply, I will finish my assignments. Okay. Let me look at my outline to see what I have to talk about next. Okay, so how not to use the future perfect? So, can we use before and after with the future perfect? No. I can't name a single context where you'd be able to do that. Oh, hi. It's nice to see you. Correct anything you can for me. I will have increased my English skills by the time my test is due. Yes, or you could say I will have increased my English skills by the time I take my test. That works too. So yeah, Carlos, you have the right idea. I will have revised by the time exams start. Yes, but you'll need to tell us what you will have revised because you can't have the verb there without some sort of direct object. I will have revised my essay by the time exams start. Could work, though. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so as you guys have noticed, by the time is often used with not just the past perfect, but also the future perfect. I will have done this by the time this happens, or whatever. So by the time is a phrase that's often used with the future perfect. As well as when. When is often used with the future perfect, as well as I illustrated earlier. No, would have one is the conditional perfect. That's something different. Okay, so for those of you who speak Spanish, let me show you. Actually, you know what? I'll hold on. Let's hold off on that for now. I'm not going to talk about that just yet. So, but first, let's talk about how not to use the future perfect. So, when you have the future perfect, do not use it in isolation. Now, what does this mean? Well, what this means is that you need additional context for the future perfect to make sense. And so let me post that there for your reference. Much like the past perfect, the future perfect needs additional context in order to make sense. That context can be stated or implied. So you can't just say, I will have done my chores. No, we need more context than that. This sounds incomplete on its own. It's not grammatically wrong, of course, but it does not sound complete. Because if you say something like, I will have done my chores, people will be wondering, okay, by the time, or when, or something like that. They'd expect you to finish that. So if you say, I will have done my chores, well, you need to add more to that. So, oh wow, Carlos, you actually provided an example where the future perfect can actually be used in the conditional. You are awesome, because someone was asking for an example like that, so thank you. You are totally poggers. Totally totally awesome. Totes. And that's a perfect use, that's a good use of the past, future perfect. So when I say don't use the future perfect in isolation, okay, so let me go back to that example. Let's go back to the example I used. I will have done my chores. Can somebody complete this for me? What can you add to that will make it sound like a complete event? Because this sounds incomplete on its own. It's grammatically correct, but it sounds incomplete on its own. Yeah, exactly. I will have done my chores by the time you come home. Yeah, see? If you add more to that, then the sentence will sound complete. I mean, it's technically complete, but it doesn't sound complete, if that makes sense. I will have done my chores by the time my mom, it should be my mom arrives home, because remember, we're not talking about the past here. But other than that, yeah, that's correct. I will have done my shut up, phone. I will have done my chores by the time my mom arrives home. Yeah, see? I will have done my chores tomorrow. It would sound better if you said, I will have done my chores by tomorrow. Okay. So you mean we should say the time of action? Not necessarily. As I said, the context can be stated or implied. So, for example, if you want it to be implied, then you could do this. Like, let's say we have person A and B. Oh, and I noticed that some people are speaking, what is it, Russian in this? I don't know, I think that's Russian anyway. Try to limit that, because not everyone's going to understand what you're talking about. Unless you actually need to provide a translation for someone, then it's fine. No, it's okay, don't worry. I will have ended my classes by the middle of June. Yeah, that works. But it should be ended, and there should be an article before the word middle. So I will have ended my classes by the middle of June. Yeah. Okay, so to So for the future perfect to be implied to the point where you actually don't have to state the time of action, you could say oh, you're trying to explain how to translate it? That's fine. Then whatever. I mean, whatever you like. Although you'd probably although if you're going to speak in another language, you should like at least provide like an English translation if you can, so that way like people won't be confused by the messages you're typing. Jasper, what's up? Abbage, hey, what is up? What on earth is up? Oh, my bad. I don't know what I said there. Person A. Let's say, okay, so going back to my example here, where you actually don't have to state the time marker for the future perfect to make sense, or whatever context, really. Let's say person A says, it's almost 9 p.m. Person B can say, yes, by then the children will have already gone to bed. So you don't actually have to, like, put that time marker in there, because it's already implied from the context. Or you could actually just say the children will have already gone to bed. That works too. You could actually take out the by then. So you can see now that if the context is implied, you don't actually the future perfect, can stand on its own. But if you don't have that additional context, then it will sound really weird in isolation, and people will be expecting you to add more. Jasper got the jumper roll today. Hey, what is up? That gets a pog champ from me. After will, we can just say have. I mean, for he, she, is it the same? Yeah, I should have pointed that out earlier, but with the future perfect or future simple, you don't conjugate for person. For everyone, it's will plus the base form. For the future simple, or will have. Oh my god. Will have. And then. Stupid. And then past participle. For the future perfect. These forms are not conjugated for person, because remember, like will, we don't conjugate that for person. Yep, let me fix that. These forms are not conjugated for person. Which one is correct? This is actually a good question. I'm just going to call you Mr. Volcano. So Mr. Volcano, he's asking which one is correct. They will have their house painted by the next month. The word "the" doesn't really need to be there, but anyway, they will have had their house painted by the next month. So the first one isn't correct. It should be they will have their house painted next month. But the second one is correct. They will have had their house painted by next month. So, here, let me reply to this so everyone understands what on earth is going on. So So you can say either they will have their house painted next month, or they will have had their house painted by next month, or by the next month. I mean, the can technically work there, but it's just not necessary here. So either of these works, and let me label these so that people aren't like, OMG, like, OMG, what forms are you using? Not poggers. They will have their house painted next month. They will have had their house painted by next month. So, and you can think about it like, you can really see the difference between these two here. The future simple talks about one point in time, really. The future perfect is more about, it's more like a span of time, if you think about it that way. Oh, thank you, Orange. I'm poggers for you. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so someone asked, she will have done it by tomorrow. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. A span of time. A span. A span. So I said point and span. Yes, span. Okay, so... So again, to recap what I just said, you can't use the future perfect in isolation. So you'd have to do it like this or like this. So here we have stated context, and here we have implied context. Let me show you a side-by-side comparison. The construction workers will have built the road by the end of the year. This is expressed. It is explicit. The construction workers will have built the road by the end of the year. Now, if that by the end of the year was somehow, if it was stated from before, then you actually don't need to include it here because the context will already be clear. So this context here is implied or implicit. Anyway, basically make sure that if you're going to use the future perfect, have additional context for it. Now let's go on to the progressive forms of the future simple and future perfect. But before we do that, let me look at this really fast. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the progressive forms of the future simple and future perfect. But what's the progressive aspect? The progressive. Can anyone tell me what the progressive is? What is the progressive aspect? Something that is continuous. Yes, exactly. So how do you form it? How do you form the progressive aspect? let's say, like, let's talk about the present simple, right? How do you make that the present continuous? How do you form the present continuous? And yeah, that would be the future perfect continuous. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or basically, that's the general formula here. Let me do this. Yeah, I am ing. Yeah, that would be the present progressive. So this is the general form of the progressive aspect. So yeah, everyone look at TSH's comment. This is the general form of the progressive aspect. So to form any progressive, even the perfect progressives, you use a form of to be plus the verb itself, and then ing. So wait, hold on. Okay, wait, no, hold on. I'm sorry. I have to wait. Hold on. I think there's a slightly better way of phrasing that. So, sorry, it should be to be plus. Okay, that would be the general form of the perfect progressive. Let me change that. Sorry. Of the perfect progressive. So, where the slot for the verb would be the past is the past participle, right? No, wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm just confusing myself now. Sorry, let me delete this crap. Sorry. Okay, delete this. See, I'm just confusing myself. Okay, so, oops, my bad. Okay, so let me change this. Let me slightly alter this. So this is to be. Any form of to be plus ing. That's the general form for any form of the progressive. Any form. So remember, we have am, was or were, and will be. But we also have been. Okay, let me show you the simple forms, the simple continuous forms. And then we have had been, and will have been. So that would be perfect continuous, right? So I should have said am, is, are for the first one. My mistake. There, that's better. So am, is, are. Let's just use a form, any verb. So being, right? So being. This would be present continuous. Was, were, being would be past continuous. And I'm talking about the indicative mood here, so I'm not talking about the subjunctive right now. And will be, being, will be future continuous. And I could have put future simple continuous, present simple continuous, past simple continuous, but yeah, let me just do that. That might make things a little less confusing. Okay, and now we have has, have been. So present perfect continuous. Had been. Oh wait, I should have put been. Have been being. Had been being would be past perfect continuous. And then will have been being would be future perfect continuous. Okay. So let's say so this is all continuous forms of the verb to be in the indicative mood. And if you don't know what that is, you can just look it up later. So, am, is, are being, was, were being, will be being, has, have been being, had been being, will have been being. And this would be and since this is the verb to be, this would be the passive form. So, like for example, he's being locked up in jail as we speak. So that would be present simple continuous. Let me provide examples of all of these, really. He's being locked up in jail as we speak. Or it's like I was being questioned about the incident. Or let's see. We will be being tested over the material. Although we will be tested over the material technically works too, but I'm just going to use this example because why not? Let's see. Okay. Okay, so no, will had been being doesn't work. It has to be have. Will have been being. So that one will get an X. Not to like slam you or anything, but no, that's not correct. Okay. Okay. No, it's will have been being. Will have, not had. Will had is not a thing. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me just, I'm still typing these examples. See, when you have a string of verbs like that, only the first one is technically conjugated. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Let me explain it like this. Oops. The reason why it's not will had been being is because will have is the future conjugation of have. So you know how you have has and have and had. So the future form will be will have. So will had isn't possible, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So here are the examples I have for all continuous forms. And pay close attention to the future continuous forms, like both the simple and present perfect forms. He's being locked up in jail as we speak. That's the present simple continuous. I was being questioned about the incident. That's the past simple continuous. We will be being tested over the material. That's the future simple continuous. I know it sounds a little awkward here because people would normally just say we will be tested, but whatever. I couldn't think of another example. And it's technically correct anyway. But anyway, let's talk about the other forms. So I've been having strange dreams lately. That would be the present perfect continuous. He'd been being beaten up when we found him in a dark alley. That'd be the past perfect continuous. And the refugees will have been being given food by the time we arrive at the camp. That's the future perfect continuous. So, one thing to point out, I should probably boldface these actually. Hold on. I really should have used a different verb because using the form being like that, these forms in the verb to be, using them like this, using it like this can be a bit awkward in some contexts. But I really wish I'd used a different verb. But whatever, that's fine. So. But you guys get the point. And these are passive forms technically because, this is the verb to be. Okay. So how does the future simple continuous, let's go back to the future simple continuous. The future simple versus future simple continuous. Let's talk about that before we get on to the perfect forms. So, for example, I will go versus I will be going. Actually, no, let me just use a different verb. I will do versus I will be doing, basically. So, remember, the progressive aspect. Yeah, we're going to do some exercises, don't worry. But remember, the progressive aspect is used when we want to express that an action used for events that are in progress. So it's used for events that are ongoing, events that are in progress. So when you say, I'm working on my assignment, it means that you are currently in the process of working on your assignment. So how does the future simple differ from the future simple continuous? Well, the future simple continuous implies that in the future, at a single point in time, this event will be in progress, so it won't be completed. So when you say I'll be working on, when you say I'll be sleeping at 11 p.m., it means that you'll be in the process of sleeping, versus I will sleep, or I will go to sleep, whatever, at 11 p.m. means that that action's not in progress. It won't be in progress at that time. It'll just take place at a single point in time, if that makes sense. I will be attending Alan G's class the day after tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I should also point out that sometimes, like in the example I used, let me type up the example I used, actually. So, in this example, So in this example, actually no, let me revise my previous explanation. So in this example, the second one implies, why am I getting random calls left and right? Scam likely. Forget you. Anyway, so the future simple continuous here could imply two things. It could imply that you will actually do an action later, or it can imply that that action that you do later will be in progress. So what I should say actually is that sometimes you could actually interchange these, really. Actually, a lot of the time you can interchange these. So in many contexts, there's really no difference between these. The continuous form just has a bit more emphasis on the fact that the action might not be completed at that time. But really, you can use the continuous form to talk about something you're going to do later. So, for example, Jaspreet's example. I'll be attending Alan G's class the day after tomorrow. You could also use I will attend Alan G's class the day after tomorrow. In this case, there really isn't much of a difference. So more often than not, you could actually interchange these, but not always. So just keep that in mind. Like really, the differences between these two, they're not as big as the differences between the present simple and present simple continuous. Not as different. Like now those two are quite different, but here these two are not so different. So I will be sleeping at 9 p.m. could mean that you're going to go to sleep at 9 p.m. or it could mean that at 9 p.m. you will be in the process of sleeping. It can mean either of those, really. I'll be meeting them at the park. That works too. Although, it's weird, but in this context, even though I will be meeting them at the park works, I think people would more likely just say I will meet them at the park. So in contexts like these, while the progressive form isn't wrong, sometimes the simple aspect is preferred. But some people would say I'll be meeting them at the park, so really, again, it's not much of a difference. Okay. Do the passive forms exist? Perfect continuous tenses exist? I mean, are they used? Yes, but not much. Which is why I really wish I had chosen a different verb. I could have used any other verb, but I chose to be for some reason. But no, they're not. They're used, but not very often. Like you're not likely to hear had been been. I can think of some contexts where it can be used, but it's not going to be very common to hear. Or will have been. Has been you might hear quite a bit, but the other two not so much. Okay, when you say will have done, you are saying in the future you are going to do something for a certain period. But at the time you did it. Then when you say will be, it is for you. You're going to do something for a certain period, but this time it's in the... Well, I'm not sure how I'm not completely sure what your question is. I think I kind of get it. So, what the difference is between these two forms is that the future perfect, it's used when you want to relate two different points of time. Like, if you're trying to show that now that, the present and a point in the future are somehow connected, then you use the future perfect. Like, I will have done my homework by 9 p.m. So that 9 p.m. is connected to now. Compared to I will do my homework at 9 p.m. That event is not connected to the present at all. So do you see what I'm saying here? And going back to that diagram I posted earlier. Let me just upload again. I don't mind. Right here. So you can see here that I will have finished my homework by the deadline. Well, this will have finished implies that there's a relationship between now and the deadline. But if you say I will finish my homework when the deadline, when I hit the deadline, or when the deadline happens, or whatever, then that there's no connection between that and the that point in the future and the present. The first examples mean is he is locked up, right? It means kind of. It means he's in the process of getting locked up. Okay. Can you give an example? What do you mean? I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what you're referring to there. Does it sound weird to you? It sounds fine to me. But who knows? But anyway, okay, now let's talk about the future perfect and future perfect continuous. So let's talk about this, because I'm sure that is what people want to know. What the difference is between these. Okay, so the difference is similar to the future simple and future simple continuous. Between the difference between those two, it's similar. The difference between the future perfect and future perfect continuous is similar to the difference between the future simple and future simple continuous, in that the continuous form might imply that an action will not be completed in the future. It will have been started, but it will not necessarily have been completed. So, for example, let's do this. So, and let me label them. We will have worked on the project by then. We will have been working on the project by then. That second one implies that the action of working on the project might not be completed at that point. Whereas the first one doesn't really have that implication, if that makes sense. The first one basically sounds more complete than the second one. Although, no, never mind. But yeah, like that's really the difference here. So when you use the future perfect like that, you're implying that actions will not continue past a certain point. But with the continuous form, you're implying that they might continue past a certain point. Yeah, exactly. The second one means you're still working on the project. Exactly. See? Oh, you have to go? Okay, bye. Popoline. Is it the same with... No, you would say I will be finished with my homework. No, in that case you'd have to say I will have been finished with my homework by the deadline. or I will finish my homework before the deadline. So if you want to use the future simple there, you'd have to use the word before. I will finish my homework before the deadline, or I will have finished my homework by the deadline. Okay, so the first disco bot for the first one implies that your action of working on the project will not be in progress at a point in the future. But the second one implies that you are still working on on the project in the future at that point in time. So when you say, let me go back up here. So when you say we will have been working on the project by then, that implies that you'll still be working on the project at that time. But the first one, we will have worked on the project by then, implies that you will not be working on the project at that point anymore. If that makes sense. So the first one sounds complete in a sense. The second one doesn't sound complete. It's in progress, basically. Oh, did I hit the mic? Oops. Yeah, exactly. The first one means that after the time the work is finished. The second one does not mean that. It means that the work will not be finished. Or at least it implies that. Yeah, they might sound weird to you because the future perfect and future perfect continuous, yeah, they're not frequently used in English. They're used even less in the past perfect, which also isn't frequently used in English, or in American English at least. So, yeah, we don't really use the future perfect that much. We use it, but very occasionally. So it's not really something you're going to need to worry about so much. Really, it's just the present forms that are going to be the most important, followed by the past forms and then the future forms. Yeah, exactly. The first one means that after the time the work is finished. The second one means that you're still working on the project at that time. Yeah, see? Well, if you're a beginner, then I don't expect you to understand this because this is advanced grammar, and if you're not at least intermediate, you're probably not going to understand it. Which I wish I had posted that little disclaimer in my class announcement, but I forgot to. So. Okay, so if you understand it, that's fine. Like if you're a beginner and you understand what I'm talking about, what the lesson's about, that's fine. You can stay. Just that these classes are not meant for beginners. Okay, so before we go into exercises for the future perfect, before we do that, let's compare the English forms with the Spanish forms. So for those of you who speak Spanish, well, let's do some direct comparisons. I'm just typing these comparisons. Because Spanish and English actually have a very similar tense system. So if you're a Spanish speaker, then really the tenses won't be that hard for you. Although some of them are used a bit differently though. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, almost done. Hold on. I need to drink water as well because my throat feels dry. Okay. Let me type this up first. Try voice typing. Maybe later. Let's see. Shoot. Oh my god, that scared me. Okay, did I press something that close? That would like erase my entire comment. Oh, I remember now. It's been a while since I focus on Spanish verb tenses. Not that I really need to. Okay, yeah, there we go. And then it would be like this. Although in Spanish, the progressive forms are not used as much as they are in English. But these are really these are really like the forms that correspond to the English forms. Okay. So let's look at how these forms are mapped in English and Spanish. And if you're Portuguese, you can also provide forms too, since Spanish and English are Spanish and Portuguese are very related. Very closely related. Okay. So here is how you would map these forms in both English and Spanish. So for the future simple indicative, in English we have will eat. In Spanish it would be comeré. For the future simple continuous indicative, in English it will be eating. In Spanish it will be estaré comiendo. In English, for the future perfect indicative, we will have eaten. In Spanish it will be habrá comido. And for the future perfect continuous indicative, wow, tenses are so complex. In English we will have been eating. And in Spanish we have habrá estado comiendo. So there's a correspondence here. But like these progressive forms are not, again, if they're not used very much in English, and they're used even less in Spanish. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's how you do it. So hopefully that makes the tenses here a little clearer. And I say indicative here because in English we have a future indicative but not a future subjunctive. But in Spanish there are future subjunctives. But I'm not going to bother typing all those out because we don't need to know about those. That's a pretty irrelevant form. Anyway. Oh, you understood that? Okay, good, Luffy. Luffy. Sorry, Luffy. I can't animate. I'm sorry. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy. Okay, I'll be right back. And then when I come back, we'll do exercises. I'm going to go and get a drink of water. I might have to use the restroom as well. So, BRB! Which means be right back for those of you who aren't internet savvy. I am back. Back I am. Okay. One more thing I forgot to point out. So going back to my comparison of English and Spanish verb forms, in Spanish the progressive forms, comiendo, stuff like that, they're not really counted as separate tenses as they are in English. Like, those forms exist obviously in Spanish, but they're not counted as separate tenses. Like, they just list the simple and perfect forms. So those two forms, estaré comiendo and habrá estado comiendo, those won't be listed as separate tenses, but I felt the need to put them here just to make the comparison clear. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out. Anyway, yeah, I washed my hands. Don't worry, I'm not like those nasty people that don't wash their hands after using the restroom. Ew. Gross. Squeaky clean, yes. Yes, my hands smell squeaky clean. I don't know why people... How are you going to go into the bathroom and not wash your hands? It's so nasty. But anyway, now let's go to the exercises. Squeaky, it refers to a noise. You'd have to... I don't have an audio sample, but when something is squeaky, it makes like a little noise, like when you rub something against something else. Like if you rub a washcloth against a surface, like you'd make a... Why is helper being so difficult today? I guess you didn't use the right Bach command. But yeah, like when you rub something against something else, like there can be a certain noise. Yeah, like a high-pitched sound. Like a certain high-pitched sound. Okay. If you look it up, you'll see what I mean. Let's see. Let's go to... I should be wearing my headset, but I kind of don't want to right now because I don't like wearing that thing. Besides, I'm not talking with anyone right now anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, like, exactly. It's as I was saying, when you rub a smooth surface, you can hear it. Yeah, it can also, when squeaky clean, it's a similar concept. Your hands are squeaky clean, like you rub them together to clean them with soap and water. You rub them together, and then when you're done, they're squeaky clean. It's like that. Anyway. I'm not going to do all these exercises because I think I might have chosen too many. Let's see. Where do we start? Okay, let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay, so let's do this one. English grammar exercise about the future perfect tense. And we're not dealing with negations here, so you don't have to use the adverb not. Which I even forgot to talk about negations. But we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So anyway, so we have this exercise. Can everyone see it? Can everyone see the questions? Yes. Okay. Good. So now we just need to do the exercises. So. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So we need to make the future perfect positive. So again, no, we don't have to use the adverb not. So we're not allowed to use it. By 10 p.m. tonight, I blank this report. Yeah, exactly. I will have finished. And I, oh, that reminds me. I don't think I linked the exercises to the past perfect in the last lesson. My bad. I'll have to go back and do that on my YouTube channel, but that's okay. But let's focus on this now. So yeah, the first one is will have finished. By 10 p.m. tonight, I will have finished this report. And I'll just type out the correct answer as well. So you just type up the no, we have to use the future perfect. Those are the directions of the exercise. By 10 p.m. tonight, I will have finished the report. That's number 1. Let me label that actually. Okay. Now let's go to number 2. By 10 p.m. tonight, why by 10 p.m. tonight? All these are by 10 p.m. tonight. Come on, we need some variation here. I wasn't even looking at the sentences themselves, and like I just glanced over this and I was like, oh, okay, this will work. But then I didn't realize that every single one has like 10 p.m. tonight. Come on. 10 p.m. tonight. How about this? By 5 p.m. tonight. We will, I'm sorry, no, I won't say the form. By 5 p.m. tonight, we what? What's the second one? So if the verb is have, then what's the future? Yeah, there you go. See, that's the future perfect form of the verb to have. Will have had. I will have had dinner. So by, no, I'll just stick with 10 p.m. tonight. I don't feel like changing it. By 10 p.m. tonight, we will have had dinner. By 10 p.m., so many things will have happened. See, you're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. You are totally getting it. No problem. Okay, let's do the third one. You know, I actually don't even want to do this exercise anymore. Let's just do the third one and be done with it. Because I just can't deal with that repetition. I can't deal with that repetition. Let's just do the third one and be done with it. So by 10 p.m. tonight, she blank Paris. And the verb here is leave. Oh no! Oh no! Dang! I wish I had announced this earlier. Oh no! Shoot. Crap. Magical, dang. Well, it's not too late. It's not too late. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Oh, what was the question? We'll have left pairs. Yeah, exactly. That was the answer for number 3. She will have left Paris by 10 p.m. tonight. She will have left Paris. They really should have. I don't know how this just. I was just looking up random ones. I was not looking too carefully at the exercise itself. So my mistake. Let's just close out this irrelevant mess. But yeah, by 10 p.m. tonight, she will have left Paris. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Actually, you know what? Okay, you know what? Actually, let's do it this way. By 10 p.m. tonight, John will have met Lucy. Yep. Why don't we do it this way? So, because I kind of don't like the idea of having to stop after every single sentence. So let's just do it this way. So I will post the link to... Ooh, that's too many questions. Let's see. I had another one here. No, that's not it. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Okay. I guess this one will work. So let's do it this way. Will have. That's why. Will have. It's not just have. Will have. Because remember, will have is the future form of has and have. Remember? I have had. You have had. I had had. You had had. I will have had. You will have had. And for the he or she forms, or it forms, he has had, he had had, he will have had. Okay, well, it sounds strange with no context. But, oh, hi again, Magical, yay. Okay. Tomorrow I'm not gonna touch the past perfect again. We're gonna do something else. We're gonna talk about the present perfect and past simple. We're gonna compare those two. We'll explain what they are and then compare those two, and yeah, we'll do that instead. I know some people will be like, "What's the difference? I don't know." OMG. Ah! Hey, how the puck are you? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, let's do this. Okay, so let's go. So I want you guys to go on this, to click this link and then just go through the exercises yourself and let me know when you're done, and then we'll go through them together. I think I'll do it that way. There are 15 questions, so I think I'll just do it that way. And I'll repeat, and I'll like post a link to the exercise as many times as you guys need me to. Yeah, Magical will definitely be here tomorrow. And he can provide us insights on the nature of the past simple and present perfect, and why a sentence like, "I haven't seen the movie yesterday," would make anyone's ears bleed. Because the past simple would have to be used there. Oh, I'm good, Puck. So yeah, so we're gonna do these exercises. Let me see. Oop. Let me just do them myself so I can just like say the answers. Oops. And then after tomorrow, we're going to be done with tense for now. Number 7 is such a weird sentence. But anyway. Okay, there. That's done. Sorry to barge in on you. You're not barging in. You have finished all of them. Yes, good. Okay, well, you've asked that question several times, and I'd love to answer it, but it's not related to this class. It's okay. I didn't see it the first time, so I mean, I did, but I forgot to answer it. So I wasn't ignoring it, I just forgot to answer it. But yeah, it's not related to this class. Although, really, I mean, to quickly answer it anyway, like, just do a lot of reading and listening to content you can understand. Mostly understand. Like, listening helps with speaking, reading helps with writing. So if you need to improve your skills quickly, you need to spend a lot of hours absorbing input that you can mostly understand. But anyway, okay, so I see that some people have it finished. So let me check my answers. I got a 70. What? No, I'm kidding. I got a 100. Anyway, so, and for those of you who are watching the recording, I probably should have meant, I forgot to, like, I didn't notice actually that there was another exercise listed below, but whatever. It's really just the first one I wanted people to do. So, I got a 0. How? What? Not poggers. Yeah, doing practice tests will help as well. Yeah, try not to capitalize when you don't need to. Maybe the test freaked out because the answers were case sensitive. If you're still working on it, that's fine. I'm just trying to format this answer choice here. And again, for those of you who are watching the recording, you can just pause at any point and like do the exercise and then replay the recording. Yeah, doing practice tests, doing a lot of listening and reading, all of that will help. And make sure, again, it has to be content you mostly understand. If you try to listen to something you understand only 50% of, that's not going to help. It's not going to help. You'll spend a lot more time translating than actually learning. So no, don't do that. It has to be like at the very least 90% of the stuff you hear or read should be understandable. Because this is what we call comprehensible input. You can't learn from content you don't comprehend. Okay. Okay, so I have just about someone sent me. Okay, yeah, that's probably why you should don't capitalize the verbs. Just type them in lowercase. Everyone type your verbs in lowercase. This is why life is a brutal teacher. I don't understand it oftentimes. Ha! It's a really simple exercise, really. You just do the form. You put the form of the future perfect form of the verb in the blanks. Oh, and don't use contractions, although you wouldn't really be able to because you're not typing the subject of the sentence. So yeah, it's a really basic exercise because English is basic when it comes to verb forms. We don't conjugate as so much as we do in Spanish. We conjugate, but our conjugations are oh so simple. I'm gonna work on my grammar more. I'm gonna teach grammar more. I am going to work on my grammar. Look at you, already correcting yourself. I don't think grammar is spelled like that, with an E. I think it's 2 A's. I don't have any books, I'm afraid. Although I wouldn't really want to use any of these because a lot of these resources, these grammar resources, are crap. I'm sorry. No, they're just not good. Even the exercises, many of the exercises you find online are trash. So I'm just like, no, I'm not using this. I'll wait for one more person, then there's the 8th one. You can't get the 8th one? Oh, I know why. We'll cover that in a moment. But I'm just going to wait for one more person to finish. I'll just have to guess the answer, Luffy. Or as you'd say in Japanese, Luffy! Yeah, and there are hints. Yeah, there are hints. No, just do just the first exercise. Don't do both. Don't do both. Just the first will work. I didn't use hints. What? Hey, flex. It's like you didn't use hints? That's sus. No, your existence is sus. No, your life story is sus. No, your color is sus. Why? Because it's red. Red is always sus. Oh, really? Well, red will be the color of your face when I slap. Excuse me, sorry. Anyway. I'm glad you found that funny. Like the IQ of a lot of Among Us players. It's very funny because it's almost non existent. Zero IQ. Not even zero, negative 200. And that's an optimistic number. But, anyway. Yeah, if you want to use the table of regular verbs, that's fine. See, that's what happens when you have a language like English. Really strong irregular verbs. English is your third language. Ooh, what are your first two, if you don't mind asking? If you don't mind me asking, I mean. Sorry. Because I speak another language as well. I speak Poggers. No, I'm totally kidding. But anyway. I mean, I'm a heritage speaker of an African language, but I'm like, I can't speak it for crap or understand most of it, so. English is really my only language. The Pogger language shall prevail. I'm gonna create a new German verb called pögen. Ich pog, du pogst, sie, es pog. Wir pögen, ihr pögt, sie und sie pögen. There. Let's that be a verb in German. No, I'm kidding. Anyway. Should I go ahead and just type the answers? I think I'll just go ahead and do that. I think everyone should be about finished. Okay, let's see. Okay, number 1. By this time tomorrow, I will have finished the project. By 8 o'clock, the kids will have fallen asleep. By tomorrow morning, he will have slept wonderfully. By next year, she will have received her promotion. That's a lie. No, I'm kidding. Robin will have sold his car by next Sunday. Morgan will have cleaned the entire house by lunch because it is dirty. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, it works now? Okay, good, Jaspreet. We will have, okay, number 7. We will have danced a few dances before midnight. Again, that's a weird sentence. That's a weird sentence. Why not just say we will have danced a few times before midnight? Why you have to sound fancy? No, I'm kidding. 8. At this time tomorrow morning, they will have begun working. So, begun. Begun. That's the past participle of begin. Just as how fallen is the past participle of fall, in sentence number 2, and slept in sentence number 3, slept is the past participle of sleep. And number 5, sold is the past participle of sell. And the others are just regular verbs. Okay, so at this time next week, so we're on number 9, we will have caught the thief. Okay, number 10, by 2013, I will have lived in Madrid for 5 years. Oh, okay, cool. Madrid's cool. I've never been there, but I'd like to go someday. Let's see, caught, right, it's the past participle of catch. So not catched, caught. Number 11, in 2020 they will have worked here for 20 years. Number 12, by September Julie will have taught, not teached, taught us for over a year. Number 13, by October I will have studied English for 3 months. And we have to change the Y to I and add ED because English spelling rules. Number 14, on Monday she will have waited for 2 weeks. Number 15, before Saturday you will have done, not did, done, you will have done all of your homework. The participants would have mastered future perfect by the end of the class. I think you mean to say will have mastered, but I mean that I get what you mean. Because I think you meant to use the future perfect there instead of the conditional perfect, but unless you meant to use the conditional perfect, then that's fine. Well, actually, that would be awkward in that context. But yeah, it's clear that you meant, yeah, you meant will have mastered. Yeah, he meant, yeah, Puck, he meant will. He meant will have mastered, yeah. I think it was likely a typo. Okay, but yeah, that's correct. They will have mastered it by the end of the class. You get 100. You only get 100% if you get all correct in the first try. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's typing on the on Discord with your phone sucks. It does. You're absolutely right. Did I do everything? Yeah. Okay, so we got everything done. Okay. Wait, let me see what the second one is. Okay, so, okay, I see. Oh, we could do the second one, actually. This one would double as an exercise in both the simple present and the future perfect. So for the second exercise on that very same page, I think that'll be let me look at this. I guess that could be the last exercise we do. Okay, so for the second exercise on that very same page that I linked, in one box, for each sentence, in one box you have to use the future perfect, and then another box you have to use the present simple. So try doing that. And I'll do it myself as well. You messed up the second one. Oh no, Emma. Toots me a lied. I am sorry. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what the future perfect indicative is. It's like, what even is that? Like, if you say something to, if you say something to a native English speaker like, "Hello, dear sir, could you tell me what the present perfect continuous form of this verb is?" They'll be like, "Wait, what?" Because yeah, like most natives don't really know that much about grammar. As like imagine asking them to say, "Oh, okay, everyone, please tell me the past perfect continuous active subjunctive," and everyone will be like, "What?" And then the teacher's like, "Oh my God, you can't say if only he had been running all this time." But anyway, but yeah. Yeah, like a lot of people will not know what these terms are. We don't go into grammar like this. Exactly. Oh, you have to leave? Okay, bye, Jenny. However you pronounce your name. Our teacher said that some tenses are very rarely used. Yes. Oh, wait, let me do exercise 2. Yeah, and you might find that there are even non-natives that don't even know these grammar rules. Like if you ask them, "Oh, you've studied English. What's the past perfect continuous active?" And it's like, "What?" What's this? An exercise in the past perfect, future perfect and past simple. That's what that is. So remember, for each sentence, in one box you have to put the present simple, and in another box you have to put the future perfect. And it could be either box. It depends on the sentence itself. So you have to put in the right one. So you can't have two past perfects. Future perfects. I keep saying past perfect. You can't have two future perfects in this exercise. I'll just go ahead and do them myself. So tomorrow, our lesson will be about differentiating the past simple from the present perfect. Because, the past isn't always so simple, and the present is definitely not perfect. Not always, anyway. So, yes, we'll be doing that tomorrow. And then we'll take a break from tenses and do other things. I'm sure all of you are tense from learning tenses. These tenses can be tense. Tenses. Oh, you understand this class? Yay! I am happy. Hopefully I will be in tomorrow's class from the beginning till the end. Yes! Let's go, magical. Yeah, it's terribly spelt French and some Spanish. That's okay. Yeah, it would be bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis. Or hola, mis amigos. Miss Ducky's like, boy, how dare you. Let's see. So remember, in one box you need the future perfect, and we're not doing progressive forms. And another thing here, I should probably point this out. So if you use hints here, you lose points. So avoid asking for hints unless you have absolutely no idea what to do. Eight is an awkward sentence. But whatever. It's grammatical. Oops. Let me sit correctly. I'm not sitting in a good position. A good position I am not sitting in. Ugh. Okay. C'est impossible. I don't know how to pronounce that in French. I see French pronunciation. I don't know. I'm like, it's not phonetic. But then again, neither is English. Neither is that of English, I should say. Can you say the future perfect rule one more time? Later. What are the grammar rules in English? Well, they don't exist. They don't exist. They are a figment of everyone's imagination. And hold on one moment. I need to post something in another Discord server. Crap. Let me just... You know, forget it. I'll just leave it on. Okay. Let me just do this while you guys are posting. Every day I'm posting, I'm posting. I'm hosting and I'm posting. There. Pork. Pork. Just slap the word will on there and call it a day. Yeah, that's kind of correct. That'll work with the future simple, but with the future perfect, you have to do more than that. Although I get what you mean, so you are technically right in any case. The Aristocats. Haha, aristocrats. Get it? Anyway. Uchiha's like... Like, when I saw where that face was from, the meme, I was like, how could the man laugh like that? Like, what on earth? Oh, you posted the answers. Well, that's okay. That is okay. Well, I forgot to mention, yeah, some of these sentences won't have future simple, present simple to use. But most of them will. Okay, so let me check my answers. I got a 95? What? No, I'm kidding, I got a 100. Anyway, let's see. It's okay, Emma. It is okay. You're still an awesome person either way. You are clearly advanced. Okay, let me post the answers. Let me post the answers here. You're absolutely right. Thank you. It's okay, Jaspreet. It's okay. It is okay. Besides, I need to boldface these anyway, so let me just go ahead and post them. I am clearly crying. Don't cry. Don't cry, please. Okay. I know you're joking, but don't cry. Blue skies. Everything will be alright. God, I hope no one actually talks like that. That would be really irritating to hear. I'm gonna blue sky this. Blue sky. Okay. Wait, you got 32%? How? Yeah. Don't use the hints until because if you do, you'll lose points. Okay, but anyway, let's go through these one at a time. Remember, some of these sentences will have only one answer. Okay, number 1. By the time you return home, you will have spent much time in Africa. Waka waka wa, eh. This time for Africa. No, I'm kidding. Number 2. She will have eaten a lot before the desert arrives. Because she fat! Okay, number 3. He will have talked on the phone before his wife arrives. Right? Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go, Shakira, my girl, Shakira. Even checking makes you lose points. Even breathing makes you lose points. Don't breathe during the exam. Okay. 10 points off. Wait, but I have to breathe. No, 10 points off. Oh, I'm sad. Okay, number 3. He will have talked on the phone before his wife arrives. Number 4. We will have chosen a date before they call. Number 5. And again, some of these are irregular forms. I'm not going to cover every single one, though. Number 5. Natalie will have fed the baby by the time she leaves the house. Because she would be a bad mother otherwise, right? Number 6. You will have finished your work before you leave the office. Because if you don't, someone's going to get hit. No, I'm kidding. Number 7. By the time they finish drinking, they will have drunk too much. Oh dear. Alcohol poisoning much? Number 8. I will have been 2 years in Scotland by the time she arrives. I would have just said I will have been in Scotland for 2 years by the time she arrives. Why? Like, that's some weird phrasing. Though I guess it's not wrong. Number 9. They will have studied in the university for 5 years by the time they get a degree. Something random. I just noticed you don't drink water in classes anymore. Nope. I think it was today I did not drink a lot of water, and sometimes I forget to. I mean to, but I forget to. Sip some water. Stay hydrated. I'm gonna sip some water right now. It's like glug 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 glug. Okay, I'm done drinking. I'm gonna sip some of that water with my tongue. Lick, 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 lick. Like these cats. Lick, lick. Like, that cat's not bothered by the fact that water is being poured right on its head. I'm like, okay. 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 Anyway. Going back to the exercise. They will have studied in university for 5 years by the time they get a degree. I think I already said that, but whatever. Number 10. I will have finished all the dishes by 7 o'clock. Okay, number 11. You will have forgotten about me by then. Well, because you're irrelevant. Number 12. When you arrive, the bus will have left. Number 13. When she wakes up, he will have gone to work. Number 14. We will have spoken with him when we leave. Number 15. I will have packed everything when they come to pick me up. But anyway. No, it's like, nah. This ducky's like, nah. That's it's like, shake your body to regroup it. It's like, my body's special. I can just, absorb water. It's like slurp. But yeah, those are the answers. So yeah, I think that'll be it for for the exercises as well as the lesson. So that will be it for that. It's called liquefaction. Liquefat. Liquefact, not fact, faction. But anyway, that'll be it for the class. Oh, that jelly. It reminds me of that song by Daddy Yankee. Shaky, 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 shaky. Shaky, 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 shaky. Shaky, 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 shaky. Toda vez. No, I'm kidding. But anyway. It's like, terremoto? Okay. Terremoto? Okay. But anyway. Can you read extravagant, please? Yes. Chi-Man is extravagantly awesome. Chi-Man is extravagant. But yeah, see? The future perfect. It's not so hard, right? Das war einfach. Eso fue fácil. That was easy. Like that Staples button, remember that? That was easy. Like, that was easy. Conditionals are hard. Oh, don't say that. They don't have to be hard. You just have to be taught the right. You just need to be taught the right way, like an approach that works for you. Every grammar is easy if Chi-Man's a teacher. Oh, thank you! No, I'm not going to do that. But thank you. Mixed conditionals. Yeah. Now, those are a bit tricky. Especially, yeah, those are a bit tricky because you're mixing, like, the present conditions with past results or past conditions with present results. But yeah, that's it. So, the future perfect. Remember, you form it with will have and then the past participle. So will have spoken, will have done, will have eaten. Don't use it by itself. If you use it in isolation, it will sound weird without more context. And it's different from the future simple. And you can combine the progressive or continuous aspect, the ing verb, with the future simple and with the future perfect. So you could say will eat, will be eating, will have eaten, and will have been eating. So yeah, that's it. Mixed conditionals. I was going to do something else for the next class. Well, I'll let you guys decide. Which one do you want? Do you want me to cover mixed conditionals, or do you want me to cover the differences between the past simple and present perfect? I'll let you guys decide. Oh, thank you very much, Jasprit. Okay, so one person said that he wanted the other one, the past simple and present perfect difference. Two people wanted mixed conditionals. Someone else wants mixed conditionals. Someone says we should probably do past simple, present perfect first. I'm thinking the same thing too. Maybe, yeah, because I want to get the tenses out of the way, because I've talked about them rather extensively. So I feel like we could take out, we could do the past simple and present perfect differences tomorrow, and then once we do that, knock those out, then we can just do mixed conditionals, or not even just mixed conditionals, but conditionals in general. But it'll be focused more on mixed conditionals, because I already technically had a class way in the past about conditionals. So and for that lesson, we're just going to focus mostly on mixed conditionals. Yeah, if you guys want to do a poll, that's fine. But yeah, that's the end of the class. Yay. I should probably review past participles at one point. Not the concept itself, but although I will have to cover that if I'm going to cover past participles, but the forms. The forms I'm going to focus more on, because I know some people are struggling with remembering what forms to use. Although if you're a speaker of, say, a language like German, this isn't going to be very hard for you, because in German you have strong verbs as well, irregular verbs that change, that you don't just add an ending. No, you have to change some of the letters in the verb. So but for people who speak languages like Spanish and Portuguese, their verbs tend to be very regular. So when they go to the English one, it's just wait. What's the past participle of begin? Well, it's begun. Began, begun. Begin, began, begun. Swim, swam, swum. Drink, drank, drunk. I was surprised to see the results. Right? Same thing. I'm surprised. It was everyone's no, mixed conditionals, mixed conditionals. I'll do that after the past simple and present perfect. Because that's the last thing I want to cover. The present perfect can sometimes be used when people talk about the future. Is that true? I would say no, because I can't think of a context where that would apply. Sorry, but I have to take care of the tenses first. I know you guys want mixed conditionals, but I need to take care of the tenses first, and then I won't go back to the tenses anymore, because I've talked about them as much as I could. So next time we'll do mixed conditionals. So like, well, okay. So for the lesson about mixed conditionals, I will do a basic review of the conditionals and then go right into mixed conditionals, and we'll talk about that. Uh, that'll be the main focus of the lesson. But anyway, that'll be it for this class. I have to go and do something. Because I'm planning something later, so I have to go and get ready for it. Oh wait, one moment. Hold up. One moment. There's something I'm checking. I mean, no, it is real. It is real. I'm pretty sure she was joking. But some people don't use some people, yeah, exactly, like some people don't use swum. They don't like how it sounds. Personally, I don't like how it sounds either, but I use it anyway. I've swum so much, although some people would be like, ew, gross. I'm just like, fine, I swam so much. God. Swim, swam, swum. Got those strong. English's strong verb game is strong. It's on point. Dreamed, I dreamt, dreamt, leaned, kneeled, knelt, right? Burned, burnt, leaned. I tend to use the ed forms more than the t forms. Although there are times where I'm trying to think. Actually, you know what? Actually, I think there are times where I do use the t forms, but I tend to use the ed forms more. Wait, hold up. Oh yeah, and that's funny. Like some people pronounce those forms like the ed forms, the past tense forms, learned. Sometimes they pronounce them as learned. So he's a wise and learned man. Learned. Or blessed. And that's grammatically correct. You can pronounce the verbs that way. That's fine. It's just that you normally wouldn't do it. You normally wouldn't do it except in rare cases like that. But even then, it sounds weird there. So I just opt for a different. I would just opt for a different adjective, really. But anyway, yeah, burned, burnt. Both are valid. Okay, but I should be ending the class though. Let me look at how. Oh, 2 hours 43 minutes. Wow. Okay. Man, great class. I loved it, even though I missed 2/3 of it. I should go now. Everyone, take care. You're the best comedian I've ever been in. Have an awesome day, just like yourselves. Aw, thank you, magical. Thank you. OMG, I'm so happy. Miss Ducky bypassing cooldown like a boss. But anyway, that's the end of the lesson. And let me just go ahead and stop recording.